Do you like video games? I assume you do, or you wouldn't be watching this channel. So please stay tuned through this entire video to learn how you can get some free Steam keys on me. Enjoy! Back in my day, video games weren't this violent, because we were watched over by a silent protector, a vigilant hero, a lawyer. We were watched over by Jack Thompson. Of course that's not true. Jack Thompson was a fearmonger and a psychopath, and whenever a game like Hatred comes into the limelight, and attracts the ire of both Bible-thumping conservatives and limp-wristed liberals alike, it makes me wonder what Jack Thompson would think. Jack Thompson would think that you've gone soft. Let's take a look at Hatred.
My name is not important. What is important is what I'm going to do.
Hatred is the latest object of video game activist ire from Destructive Creations. The game focuses on ultra-violence as a means of entertainment and has drawn the eye of parents groups and outraged liberals alike due to its objective to kill your neighborhood. Directly drawing from such real-world incidents as the Aurora shootings, Columbine, and Virginia Tech, it has been compared to Grand Theft Auto, Hotline Miami, and Postal, just to name a few. But it's better to compare it to Doom or Mortal Kombat, as its violence serves no meaningful purpose as it does in the earlier mentioned titles. And what would Jack Thompson say about the public outrage? Jack Thompson would say you've gone soft. The game almost certainly bought its AO rating with controversy over content, as even though there is a vulgar display of violence in the game, there's almost nothing resembling gore. And the mass shooting themes are so underwhelming, it might leave you wondering why there's any controversy at all. And the answer is that controversy is a form of publicity, and it was obviously used to great effect to sell this game. Oh, that's right, there's a game here. I almost forgot with all the controversy. Let's talk about the game. Let's start with the graphics. Hatred is presented in a Frank Miller-style black and white with splashes of color here and there, and for the most part, that's a great design choice. It helps you keep track of fire, police, and the occasional splashes of blood look pretty nice set against it. The character models are pretty good too. With a lot of variety in the people you're sent to kill, it does feel a little bit more genuine. Their animations are nice, and when laid down for executions, they look decent. The deaths, however, as I mentioned earlier, are a bit weak. There's no visible gore on any of the victims, and when they get shot, a low-res blood decal just shows up on them, looking like they may have spilt their ketchup. A really weak bite for a dog with so much bark, and obviously disappointing and confusing looking at all the outrage the game has caused. There's more gore in Vice City than in Hatred, and Hatred is rated AO for gore. The physics engine is working at full capacity with Hatred. Almost every structure in the game can be torn down, blown up, and destroyed in a delightful way. This is easily my favorite feature in the game. Blowing down walls is oddly satisfying, especially when dozens of bricks go flying across the room. It really gives that sort of next-gen feel that's been missing from a lot of games. The lighting effects are where Hatred really shines. Fire looks like fire, police lights look like police lights, and the lighting is just gorgeous throughout. Chromatic aberration is used in just the right amount. The game looks good, but it doesn't look like it's some sort of LSD trip. Basically, Hatred should be the textbook example of post-processing done right. Overall, the game is a visual treat, even if the deaths and gore are a little underwhelming. Now on to audio. The game features very little music, but what it does have is atmospheric and foreboding. Reminds me of some of the more quiet tracks in Silent Hill. The sound effects are very good, with guns giving satisfying pops, but when the police show up and start shooting, and there's a lot of gunfire, it can be hard to track your shots based on sound. Explosions sound great, buildings crumbling sound great, and basically the sound effects sound great. The voiceover for citizens is also very good. They got some real blood-curdling screams in here, and great dialogue when the victims beg for mercy. The protagonist, however, if you want to call him that, has really bad voice acting overall. He sounds kinda like Duke Nukem trying to take a shit, and has the edgiest dialogue in the world.
Only my weapon understands me. Welcome to your nightmare, motherfuckers.
The game would probably be better off without his voiceover, as it is easily the worst part of the game. As for gameplay, as you may have guessed, Hatred is an isometric twin-stick shooter in the style of Hotline Miami or Robotron 2084. It is split up into several different levels, each with a theme such as the neighborhood, or the sewers, or the marina. In each level there is a main goal, usually exterminating citizens, as well as side goals, like exterminating specific places or events. To carry out your extermination, there is a small arsenal of weapons you can find in the game, from pistols to pipe bombs. All the basics are here, but nothing else. Other than weapons, there are no pickups in the game, and health doesn't automatically recover. The only way to heal is to execute people while they're doubled over in pain. So edgy, but it fits the atmosphere of the game, and can lead to some pretty brutal animations. There are a lot of execution animations, but not an insane amount. This leads you wanting to collect them all, so to speak, and you'll probably end up shooting to cripple so that you can see what execution is up next. The controls work, and there isn't too much to complain about. Hatred Guy controls very well, and usually shoots where you want him to. Not much to complain about other than that the crouch button is a toggle, and it's easy to forget to untoggle it when the cops are after you. Easily, the funnest part of Hatred is the level of destruction you can bring to the freestanding structures around you. Homes, businesses, cars, and pretty much anything that isn't nailed down can be blown into little pieces in a decadent display of destruction. This is the most satisfying destruction in any game I have ever played, and you'll probably finding yourself wasting resources trying to demolish a house at one point or another during your playthrough. It's a blast. Now the fun factor. As I said, the game is fun. It's a boatload of fun destroying buildings and mowing down targets, but I can't help but feel a little dirty after each session of play. I mean, you are playing a brutal monster, a psychopath and a douchebag edgelord to boot. The game is fun, but it's always at the back of your mind that it shouldn't be. Maybe I'm just saying that because I feel guilty about having fun with it. But what would Jack Thompson think? And there you have Hatred. A fun little twin-stick shooter which tries to push the envelope, tries to be edgy, but I think fails a little bit in that regard. If you enjoyed Hotline Miami, if you like Robotron 2084, then I don't see why picking up Hatred would be a bad idea at all, but if you're not into twin-stick shooters, then it's probably not the game for you. I say try it, but go in with a little bit of caution. Congratulations, you guys made it all the way through the video. I can only assume the reason you did that was to get some free Steam keys. Well, here's some details about that. In a future video, I'm going to be doing some raffling. I'm going to raffle off a couple winners for some violent video games, games like Postal 2 and Hotline Miami. So if you're interested in some free Steam keys, these are for Steam, please comment below your opinions on violent video games. Do you believe that violent video games cause real-world violence? What do you think of the ESRB's AO rating? Is it just a censorship tool? Where do you think Jack Thompson is right now and what he would think of the Call of Duty culture we have? Just give me a thoughtful, insightful paragraph, one paragraph, that's 3 sentences or more, on violent video games, and you will be entered to win the raffle. And in a future video, we're going to be raffling off the winners. Please have your comment entered by Independence Day in the United States, July 4th, the 4th of July, to enter to win your free Steam keys. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
And who fucking cares?